Material options and custom materials. In this lesson, we are going to learn about materials. Our goal is to take our project from this to this. So let's get started. We will continue from where we left in the previous lecture. Our project is imported with colors assigned all over the objects. To access the materials library that comes with Twinmotion, we will click that triangle on the left. That first folder called Materials. It has loads of very good stuff in it. They are well organized in folders like glass, metal, concrete, wood, and so on. Let's say we want to put brick materials to our villa fence here. Simply, we will open brick folder and we have all these options to choose from. If I didn't find what I exactly want in brick, just press backspace on the keyboard, then go to stones folder. I have all these options to choose from. When I hover over a material, a rendered image with that material pops up to show me this material when rendered. Let's say I like this material. I can simply drag and drop it on our object. As simple as that. Now, once the material is applied to that object, its options appears down here. Color, reflections, scale, weather, and settings. When we press the three dots next to color here, this color picker window appears. I can choose whatever color I like from here and adjust its brightness from here. Notice whatever change I make in the color picker, it displays live on our object. Let me make it a bit darker and press OK. Next, we have reflection. We can adjust reflections by moving this orange slider up or down. And as you can see, any change I make in reflection is directly updated on the material ball here. I can also type the percentage I want in reflection by double-clicking here and type the value I want and press enter. Next, we have scale. We can also control the texture scale using the slider, or we can input the scale factor using the keyboard. 1 is the original size. If I change it to 2, it doubles its size. Now, those three options got a small More button down here. If we press that More button under color, it will take me to a page where I can change texture color, opacity map, or luminosity. If we press on texture, it will pop out options where I can change the texture used. We can copy and paste this texture between materials, or we can press open and choose a photo we have on our computer to be as our texture. We can turn opacity mask on or off, but that only works if the image I use in texture has alpha channel in it. For some .pngs, for example, are transparent, we can on or off that transparency from here. Luminosity is how bright our material reacts when exposed to light. We will keep it 50% for now. To get back to the previous options, we will click the name of our material here. There is also a More button inside reflection, where we can change the texture of reflection maps from here. Scale also has more button options where we can move our image in X and Y and rotate it. Also, we can give it animation speed in X and Y from here. It could be useful in some cases like commercial billboard screens or something like that. Next, we have weather option. It toggles whether the material is affected by rain or snow or not. We will check it later in the course when we change the weather from here. Now I went out of material options by selecting any other thing in the program. How to get back to that material option to adjust? Simply, I will click the eyedropper icon here called Material Picker, then click on the desired material from the scene. And now we are back to our material options. So weather got only on or off options, and we will see that later in other materials. The last button we have here called Settings. It gives us access to adjust more options like metallicness, bump, glow, and those three options got a more button if you like to change the texture to any of them. Sound is the sound of your footsteps when you are walking over this material in the BIM game-like mood. And lastly, we have the option to toggle two-sided material on or off. Useful in some cases, for example, where you have a plain model that has no thickness. And these were materials options. We have here this grid icon. If you press it, it will switch to the multiple materials view. These are all the materials that we used in our scene. The ones that are assigned to an object has little tick next to it. The ones that we used before but not assigned now has no tick. For example, let's say I was testing brick material on one of the objects here. Then I didn't like it and changed it. The older one is still in the list, but it has no tick next to it. When we right-click a material from this list, we have the options to duplicate, delete, rename, or add to user library. Duplicate will create another copy of that material in the list. That maybe make it my starting point to create another material, but at the same time keep the first one. Delete will allow us to delete unused materials, but it will not work with used materials that has tick next to them. We can use it with this one as it's not assigned to any object. Rename will allow us to rename material. Add to user library will make a copy of this material in the user library folder, so you can use it to have a selection of your favorite materials in that folder. The user library folder is not inside materials folder, it's inside the library folder here. Inside it, you will have the collection of your favorite materials and objects. If you want to create a custom material from scratch, press that plus button here. That will create an empty white material. We can rename this material as logo. Go to color and instead of giving it a color, press more and give it a texture. Press here and press open. Navigate to your desired image and pick it, and press open. And now we have our logo applied as a texture to this material. Let me put my logo to an advertising billboard. I will get this billboard from the library and drop it next to the villa here. Press F to zoom extent, drag my material and drop it to that billboard. And there I have my logo on that billboard. And I can adjust it just like any other material. One of the cool things you can do in Twinmotion is to go to settings, then go to glow and increase the glow of the material, and now this billboard is emitting light like a TV screen. To view it better, change the time of the day to night, and here it is glowing in the dark. But I want it to glow with my logo. Simply press More and go to Texture, press Open, choose our logo image and press Open. And here is our logo glowing in the dark. The day cycle switches the glow image between that of the color and that of the glow during times of the day. When it's morning, it shows day texture. When it's night, it glows with the glow texture. We can animate this billboard logo by going to Scale, press More and increase Speed X or Speed Y. Now that we learned material options and how to make custom materials, let's apply Twinmotion materials to every object in our project in the next video. Applying materials to our scene. In this lesson, we are going to apply Twinmotion materials to our scene. So here is our scene, and let's start with the surrounding ground, the grasses and the street. So under materials here, we have a folder called ground. Click it. We now have two folders. One is man-made and the other is nature. Go to nature and we have all those grasses and ground materials. Simply I will drag and drop it to where I want grasses. If I don't like it, simply choose another one. Then I adjust scale, make it darker, try another one. It all now depends on your taste and how you like it. Let's move to the street and apply material. Go up inside man-made, choose asphalt, drag and drop until you like one of them. Then we can adjust the color, make it darker, and we can even drag and drop from here the adjusted material to this object here. And now we have our street materials. Same goes with the pavings. There are many nice materials to choose from. Pick one, adjust it to your liking, and move on. Let's move to the garage door here. Let me move up to metal, choose one that you like, adjust it, and move on. Now, since all materials are assigned correctly from 3ds Max or your other 3D software, my job becomes easier. Just choose drag and drop and adjust. But what if we made a mistake in Max and we applied a wrong material to an object? Well, let's see how we can solve this. I have here the surrounding ground. We will pick grasses, drag and drop, and all surroundings got grasses material applied. But this object I wanted to be paved and not grasses. If I dropped the paving material to it, it changes also the grass object material. The solution is to select that object of paving and change here from replace material to apply to object. In this case, it will apply material uniquely to that object. We can now just simply pick the paving material and drop it to that object that has the new settings. I can also do that to the object here and give it another material. It will be applied only to that object. But in my case, I want it to be grasses so I can fill it with trees and shrubs later. Now I'm going to continue working on applying materials to my project. The steps are systematic. You will just need to explore this fabulous material library, drag and drop it to your objects, and see how it goes. So I went to concrete section and choose a material for those columns of the fence here. Moved to the doors and applied wood materials to it and adjusted its color. Then chose some metal materials for the handles. For this canopy, I went inside fabrics and chose a material. Chose some wall paint for this room, applied wood, metal and glass to doors and windows, applied concrete tiles to the ceiling. Then moved to the entrance and tried different types of granite and marbles. Changed the daytime to see it better. Kept on trying some. Then I couldn't find what I like. So I went to Google and searched for a marble texture. Chose one and saved it next to my project. Then changed the texture of one of these marbles to the one I got from Google. Then I adjusted it. Then continued applying materials to each and every piece of my villa. And there we have it, our villa with some nice Twinmotion materials. I kept the pool water material till the end, cause we can do it with a couple of ways. One is using material and the other is using volume water. To use water material, simply go to the water folder inside materials folder. Choose one, then drag and drop it on the water object that we modeled for the pool. Now, water is mostly transparent, so if we want to make a good visualization of the pool, we need to give good care to the ceramic of the pool. So under tiles, there are mosaic tiles that are perfect for the swimming pool walls and ground. We can then adjust its scale and color however we like. Let's get back to our water material and make adjustments till we are satisfied. Or we can try other types of water materials. And that's the water option with materials. For the other water volume option, we will first hide this plane from here, so we have our empty pool like that. Then we will go up in the library here. We have a folder called Volume. Inside it, we have water. Inside water, we have water cube and water cylinder. Let's drag the water cube and drop it into our pool like that. Then let's adjust its scale. Click here and choose scale, then drag these points to make this volume bigger like that. Then we will move this water volume down into our pool. Maybe make it taller and put it in. Next to aspect, we have 3 types of pool water to choose from. What's cool about using a volume instead of material is that the volume water gives caustics effect on the pool ground, and if we go inside that pool, it will give us the visualization that we are actually inside the water, unlike water material. We also can enable or disable it from here. We can compare between the 2 types of water. That is the one with the material and that is the one with the volume. For me, I will go with water material as it gives me more options in terms of color adjustments. Let me also show you another cool feature in material, the weather on or off. If it's set to on and we change the weather to winter, we can see the water materials had turned into ice. If I don't want that effect, simply I will turn the reaction to weather off. One last tip that we might need when applying materials is that maybe we made an object in Max with incorrect UVW mapping, and that problem appeared now in Twinmotion. For example, this canopy here came with incorrect UVWs from Max. We will simply select and delete. Then go to our Max file, adjust it and make it right. Then go to File, Export, Export Selected. And export it to a separate FBX file. Then in Twinmotion, we will press Import here, press Open, navigate to that FBX file, press Open and OK. And the new adjusted canopy will fall into place with its new adjustments. And now I can give it its fabric materials with no problem. And that's all we need to know in materials. My advice to you is to give good care when choosing your materials, as it's one of the most important things that makes the project beautiful. We will continue adding more cool stuff to our project in the next video.